Hello, I'm Douglas Johnson, the Day Tripping Adventurer, and welcome to some Siren news. So I found three interesting stories about sirens that I thought I would share with everybody. The first one, it's a sad story. It's about Siren 184. This is a siren that I visited on walk number 9. And that brought me down here to Crenshaw and 71st, where right there is our first siren. It's a Federal Signal Model 7. This one is really rusted and it's a little banged up. You can still see some of the original color on it there. And that siren, unfortunately, is no longer with us. So let's have a moment of silence for Siren 184. Unfortunately, around April 29th or 30th of 2022, the siren just suddenly fell over. I guess the base had rusted out. I don't know if there was wind or anything going on that night that caused it to fail, but it fell over and crashed through a fence and went into a parking lot.
Everybody wants to see this toppled jewel.
This is air raid siren number 184. It's a Federal model. You can, I guess, why don't you get around there?
We call it a bird cage, this style, and this number that you're giving us is part of the city's cultural resource list.
It is.
And the building used to be this old, I guess, semi-famous veterinary building down in the area that it fell into. So a historic siren fell into a historic site, which is kind of funny. But I found out about this. Somebody posted something a little cryptic on one of my videos, something about bringing WD-40 on my trip because of Siren 184. So I looked it up and I found a video done by Esotouric. He was called in actually right after the siren fell, so he's got a lot of great coverage on the video, and he's got some video about the Department of, I guess, Public Works came in and cleaned it up and covered the base, cut the base out and put concrete over it and covered it, made it look nice. But that Siren 184 is no longer there. So I highly recommend going and checking out Esotouric's YouTube video as well as his blog. And in the blog, he followed up actually with the Department of Power, and they said that they are looking to actually restore the siren and put it back in place because they see it. A lot of people see it. These are historic relics of our past. They call it the Cold War siren. The siren was a Model 7, so it would have been actually a World War II era air raid siren that did work throughout the Cold War. Unfortunately, a lot of those World War II era sirens are the ones that have been up for about 80 years. And they think that maybe because it was located outside of a vet, it had 80 years or maybe 60 or 70 years of animals, using it as a place to go to the bathroom. That might have affected the base of the siren. Another interesting thing about this particular siren is when he went and looked at it, the people from the Department of Public Works, they had to clean out like a massive amount of like nesting material from birds or squirrels or maybe even rats or rodents, who knows, but it was just so much nesting material inside this thing. It must have been filled with it. So when people ask all the time, do the sirens still work? If we gave them power, would they still work? Some people have said yes, they will still work. However, seeing all the junk that was inside of it, I think they'd probably like set off a fire or something like that, or smoke. They would need to be cleaned out first before they work effectively. At least that's the Model 7 that's been up there for 80 years. Because back in October, up in Sacramento, people were awoke to a rude surprise when an old Cold War siren went off for about 15 minutes in the middle of the night.
The sound came from a Cold War-era civil defense siren, part of the city's seemingly forgotten emergency siren system. The blaring siren sent East Sacramento neighbors stumbling out of their houses around 10 o'clock Monday night.
I came out of my house with my fingers over my ears. It was that loud.
Neighbor Rosalind Shaw says it did trigger childhood memories growing up during the Cold War.
Well, everyone had drills, but especially school children, on how to deal with a nuclear attack.
Digging deeper, ABC10 confirmed the siren came from this tower on SMUD property.
I've been here over 40 years and I've never noticed it.
It's called a Scream Master, a siren brand that was manufactured in the 1950s, the dawn of the Cold War.
I read that it has like the same internal workings as a Federal Model 7. I know you'll correct me on that if I'm wrong, so one interesting thing I learned is that supposedly there's no recordings of these Scream Masters when they were actually working in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and into the 80s. So this news recording here is the only recording of this type of siren in existence. But I think whoever did it, or however it went off, I think it was a great thing that happened. I mean, we not only get this recording, but the people who heard it and the people in Sacramento are now interested in it. They're now aware of these historical objects that are, the words I often use, it's history hidden in plain sight that they now are aware of. But we do have it documented now, and that is awesome. But if you want to hear sirens all the time on a monthly basis, well, you'll have to go to France. France has started testing their Cold War era air raid systems because of what's going on over in Europe right now. As of filming this video, I'm filming it in July of 2022, and Russia's in the 4th month of their invasion of the Ukraine, and nobody knows what Russia's going to do next. So France, they're taking the initiative and they're testing their air raid sirens so that they can warn the public just in case something does happen and get them accustomed to listening to it. So if you're looking for a vacation and you're really into air raid sirens, I suggest going to France. Because the first Wednesday of every month, the article said over 2,000 cities, towns, and hamlets all over France, they're going to test their air raid sirens. Now, I don't know what kind of sirens they're testing, but I know somebody out there is going to know what it is, and you're going to tell me what it is. So I look forward to that. These are regulated by I'm going to butcher this word, the Réseau National d'Alerte. I guess it's France's national alert system. So this has been the first day tripping news break. Let me know if you found this interesting, if it's something you'd like more of. There are so many people posting videos of sirens all over YouTube that I always thought it would be kind of cool to go through and put them together and talk about the different videos in some way. And I think having it as like a news break type thing might be interesting. So let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Douglas Johnson, the Day Tripping Adventurer, and as always, try to get out, enjoy the world around you, but stay safe and stay healthy.